looking at a train package unit, heat pump package unit. A little 1,400 square foot ranch house. Yeah, it says the only time he gets heat is when he sets the thermostat to emergency heat. So I have gone in there, set the thermostat to heat. It's 68 in the house, 69. It's like 64 outside. It's going to be in the upper 80s this week. Finally, some warm weather. But I've set it to heat and nothing is coming on. I'm trying to give it the little delay period for a 5-minute delay. But I'm not getting anything yet, so we'll wait. Don't have any fault codes flashing up here. Well, you can see that. Get some shade on it. You see a little green light flashing right there. So red light's not flashing. So we're not getting a fault. Let's go ahead and see if the thermostat's giving us a call. I mean, the blower's not on. Very rarely is it a blower and I mean, it says when it's an emergency heat, it heats. So I'm assuming the blower works. But we will not assume. We'll just go ahead and check everything. It's got a T6 thermostat on the wall. Go figure. That may be our problem right there. Honeywell does not make a thermostat anymore that as well as they used to. Or somebody's mounted the lock. Well, no, never mind. Some of them don't have that temperature thermocouple on them. This one does, so it sticks outside the cabinet. There's some models I see where it doesn't, and they put it right up against that panel, which is always warm in there. And then the auxiliary heat doesn't come on until it gets really, really cold outside because it's inside this warm space. So let's see if we're getting a call from the thermostat. Common over here. I'm not getting a call for G and Y. It's not quite been 5 minutes yet. So I do have 24 volts going to the thermostat, so I know. There we go. Where was our delay? So I've got it set for heat and I've got warm air coming out of the top of this unit. So we are running in cooling mode when it's calling for heat. Let me see real quick what we energized over here from the thermostat. So I'm getting, see that or not, getting 18 volts. You can see the meter way down there. I'm getting 12 volts. I was getting 18 while ago. 12. So heat strip just engaged, probably because I've turned the auxiliary heat up. Turn the temperature up. No. Heard something click in there. Let's see. getting heat strips. Get a better angle or a better view here. It's tall grass. I don't know how well this thing will stand up. So we'll just go with ground. I am getting 24 volts for auxiliary from the thermostat. So this switch is closed for whatever reason. It's not even cold enough to be, unless it's turned all the way up. It's not wired up right. It should be going through the switch. So anyway, getting 18 volts again on O. Let me disconnect that real quick and see what happens. See if that reversing valve switches. And it's just 18 volts. I wouldn't think that would close the... Yeah, just heard it switch. So we've got a Honeywell T6 thermostat that is giving us in heat mode. I'm getting 2 volts. I wonder if our common is not wired correctly either. If I go between ground, I get 26 volts right here. But if I go to my common, I only get 2 volts. I don't know what this black is connected to inside. Let's see what happens. So I just disconnected that. It was wired. No, never mind. That's our blue coming off our temperature switch back there. This is my true common, and I just opened it up, so that's why it just shut off. So let's get it back on and we'll reconfirm all this. So I'm waiting for our delay. As you can see, you can hear it click. So you can hear that reversing valve energizing whenever I put that together. So my mistake, I was looking at that blue wire back there as my common. It's actually this one. That's why my voltage was a little bit off. That's the blue wire coming back in from that temperature switch. This is the blue wire that's actually the common for the thermostat. So anyway, but we have a Honeywell T6 thermostat that has our reversing valve energized in heat mode and not cooling mode, and that's why he's getting cold air blowing. So let me go get the manual for that book. I want to make sure it's set for the proper O or B in the thermostat, and if it is, we're going to replace the thermostat.
We were here with, we were like, David was in town, David Ishmael was in town, we were hanging out with him, and like, he was like, if I could, I would sell like into $100. Like that's my solution. Like if it's up to me, no one wants to hear me. Everyone tells me I'm stupid, but my solution, guys, sell it for $100.
Alright, as you can see there, we are set for O on the reversing valve, but for whatever reason the thermostat is sending 24 volts. These T-Series thermostats are not as good as the old ones, so we got another one here. We can get it set up right for the equipment. If I can get it to react to the buttons. So we are at, so we're going to set this, I'm going to turn the programming off on that. 25, 0 for Fahrenheit, 200 heating system. It's going to be 2 for heat pump. 200 right there. Go up 205. And then our heating equipment type, it's going to be air-to-air heat pump, which is already automatically set. And then next, our reversing valve, O, not B, O. The old one is set for O. So let me go ahead and get the rest of these set up right, and then I'm going to put this thing on the wall and see if it fixes our problem. Alright guys, so I've swapped this high quality Honeywell thermostat out. I don't know where they dropped the ball. These used to be old 5,000s, 4,000s, 6,000. 6,000 was a little sketchy. But those older Honeywell thermostats, except for that little chiclet piece of junk that was a power robber. But Honeywell has really dropped the ball on the quality of their thermostats. So I've put that thermostat up. Got everything still disconnected here. My fan is running, a blower. Do have my 24 volts right there for the fan. And I don't know how well you can see that. Not really greatly concerned. Just have to take my word for it. So we in heat mode with the other thermostat, we're getting 24 volts on our O terminal. And when it was running and heating, it was cooling, it was energizing. So we're going to take our O. We are no longer getting our click. So we're going to hook up our compressor contactor Y back up. Get this thing on, confirm it's running in heat mode. Blower was running, so I know we're good there. Maybe, I don't know, I turned it up real high. Yeah, so our relay for our auxiliary heat is up. I'm thinking these are wired backwards because it should be going through that temperature switch. So the heat strips should not be coming on. So this wire should be over here. Basically the black and the auxiliary and emergency should be flipped so that the auxiliary goes through that switch. Emergency will go straight to the heat strips. So I'm going to switch that back and fix that. But we are now running in heating mode, and not air conditioning mode. Honeywell T6 thermostat. T4 too probably. I mean they're basically practically about the same thermostat, but replace several of these a year, seems like, for this very problem. You turn it in one mode, it runs in the opposite mode. So even though it's programmed and set up right. Anyway guys, that was a simple one. Appreciate you watching, like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.